Okay, so this is the first question on the week 3 handout, and it says Simone's average score for 7 tests is 82 points. If she scores 90 points on her 8th test, then what's the average of all 8 of those test scores? So this is, a pretty applicable example of averages. And so the first thing we're going to need to know to answer this question is, how do you find your average test score, your average of your test scores? Well, an average in general is just going to be your total points or total whatever divided by the number of different objects you have. So in this case, it would be your average test score is just equal to your total points in all of your tests divided by the number of tests you've taken. So for example, let's say you took 2 tests. On the first one, you got 100. On the second one, you got an 80. Well, your average would just be your total points, which is 180, divided by the number of tests you've taken, which is 2, and so your average would be 90. So we're going to approach this problem similarly. So we're looking for the average of 8 tests. So we can first just fill out on the bottom, we have 8 total tests. But how do we find the number of total points Simone's gotten? Well, the number of total points is going to be all the points she's gotten for those first 7 tests plus 90 for the 8th test. So how many points did she get in those first 7 tests? Well, if you think about it, the average score for her first 7 tests, I'll write it over here, is 82. So using this formula that I've written here on the right, well, we can say that 82, since that's the average, is equal to the number of total points divided by the number of tests she's taken, which is 7. So the number of total points she got from the first 7 tests, well, that's just going to be equal to 82 times 7. So that is, let me just write it here, 82 times 7, that's equal to, so there's 14 here, carry the 1, 56 is 8 times 7, so 574. So we can just draw an arrow pointing to that. The average, we'll plug this in, so this is for the first 7 tests, is 574 plus the score for the 8th test, which is 90. So the total points for the first 8 tests is 574 plus 90, all over 8, the number of tests. And so 574 plus 90, that's equal to 664 over 8. Let's divide this. 664 divided by 8. Well, 8 goes into 66 8 times. Subtracting 24, so 83 is what we get. So this simplifies to 83, and therefore the average of all of her test scores is 83 points.